much you can remember since I was last here. We talked about theft. Can any of you tell me what theft is? Yes.
When you take something what don't belong to you.
Yes. There's a bit more to it than that, though, isn't there? Yes.
It's when you don't mean to give it back.
Come on your feet. Show me what you got in your hand. I'm not asking, I'm telling.
Now, what's the difference between that and robbery? Yes?
Is force or the threat of force?
Good. Force or the threat of force is the difference between robbery and theft.
I've been told, informally, that a definite decision has been made to set up a dedicated street robbery unit at area level. There couldn't be a clearer endorsement of Sun Hill's pilot project.
Well, when area take it over, perhaps I can have my most experienced uniform back from taking music and movement class.
Have June Ackland back, Derek, as soon as the school liaison officer is over his jaundice.
And she really is doing some very useful work in the schools.
You do take the point, though, don't you, Derek? This street robbery is not just a question of getting bodies into bins. The preventive aspect is essential.
Certainly. But I still think there's a danger in spreading ourselves too thinly in order to do other people's jobs for them.
Well, that could be a danger, I agree, but one of our main objectives is to push other agencies into ways of thinking that will support our efforts.
I mean, take a case in point. Later on today, Kim and I will be meeting a member of the probation service and one of the clerks of the justices. A sensible approach to the treatment of young people will be a benefit to all of us.
Well, perhaps you'd like to be in on that, Derek. I'm sure you've got some very useful ideas to contribute.
No, I leave the politics and the PR to the experts, thanks very much.
Well, for a start, just give us your name, son. We know you don't want to be here. The sooner we know who you are, the sooner you can be out of this place. See, we want to get your mum, your dad along, someone you know, so you'll feel better and we can get these things sorted out. Go and sit over there, on that bench.
We've got the property. We've got identification by the victim. We've got his admission on arrest.
That's according to you.
He's trying it on now, Sarge.
He looks scared witless to me, Loxton.
I don't suppose he fancies the consequences of what he's done. They're not meant to, are they?
Did you get heavy with him?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
All done by the book. Scout's honour.
I'll have to get a social worker in.
All right, now you've talked about theft and robbery, and what we're going to deal with today is bullies and bullying. Let's do a little exercise first, so everybody stand up and form a circle. Now, one thing you learn if you're an actor is that there are a lot of different ways of saying the same words. And it's how you say the words that makes a big difference to the way they come across. Now, I'm going to say something to you, and I want you to say the same thing to him, and we'll carry on right round the circle. And the way I'm going to say them is as if I'm frightened and nervous and very unsure of myself. And I want you to do it in the same way, okay? I can't come out with you tonight.
I can't come out with you tonight.
I can't come out with you tonight.
I can't come out with you tonight. I can't come out with you tonight.
Can't come out with you tonight.
Can't come out with you tonight. I can't come out with you tonight.
I can't come out with you tonight.
I can't come out with you tonight.
I can't come out with you tonight. I can't come out with you tonight.
Billy Potter.
I'll check if he's named to social services.
I'll run his name past the Juvenile Bureau and get hold of the parents. Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Duxford. The name and address is more than we managed to get out of him.
Yeah, but not for want of trying, it appears.
Pardon me?
Look, could we have a private word?
Yes, this way. Sit down. Is there a problem?
The kid's very frightened.
I'm aware of that. When his parents are here, we'll do our best to find out why.
I wonder if you're best placed to do that.
There's been no complaint of intimidation.
There's been no word out of the kid except for his name and address. Somebody's put the frighteners on him sometime.
So you've sorted yourselves out into pairs, right? Everybody's got a partner.
No, miss, I haven't.
Well, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to sit it out, OK? Right, what I want you to do now is take turns. Each of you tells his partner about an experience you've had of being bullied, and then he tells you. And do it quietly.
Miss?
Yes?
I ain't never been bullied.
Yeah, he bullies us.
They seem to be really getting into it now.
Give them a bit of confidence and they start getting things off their chest.
Yeah, well, most of them do anyway.
All right, Billy, what can you tell us about this morning?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, you were found with a gold chain belonging to a woman who says you snatched it from her in the street. You must have something to say about that.
I found it.
You found it?
Oh, give him a chance. He's trying to tell you, isn't he? All you want to do is make out he did it.
I am giving him a chance, Mrs. Potter, but there's a lot to be explained here. Where did you find the chain?
Behind the bins, where he found me.
So, what were you doing behind these bins?
Hiding.
Well, why were you hiding?
Because I thought like I'd get the blame for it.
For what?
For something I hadn't done.
He was dead right there, wasn't he?
What's your name?
Me? Anthony, miss.
Right, Anthony, you've told your story to your partner. Would you like to tell the whole group, please?
Yeah, all right. Well, me and my mate, we was playing football. And these two kids, big kids, they come up to us and they said they want to play, so we says no. So they, beat us up and took our ball. But it was my mate's ball, so we got beat up worse.
Did you tell anybody about it? Well, you know you should, don't you?
Well, yeah, but, you feel stupid.
All right, well, we'll get on to that. We'll try out ways of telling people things. Let's have somebody else's story.
Yeah, you. What's your name? Yes, you.
Ricky.
Can you tell us what you told your partner?
He never said nothing, miss.
No story to tell, Ricky.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Potter. I am not making your son out to be a liar. I'm trying to get the truth out of him. What he's told us so far is just not credible.
You don't care who did what. You've got him scared stiff and you just want to keep on at him till he says what suits you.
No.
You think we don't read the papers? You think we don't know what goes on? Oh, you lot. You've put kids away for years because they get so desperate they'll put their hands up for anything.
For a start, we're not talking about putting anyone away. There's a perfectly sound case against your son. And since he's not been in trouble before, with the agreement of the Youth and Community section, I'd be prepared to settle this with a caution. But that depends on his owning up to what he's quite clearly done.
Look, you tell me one thing. If you've all done this on the level, what's he so scared about?
I'd like to know that. I'm not going to take a decision about charging Billy right now. So what I want you to do is take him home and see if you can find out what's happened. And then tell me.
Anybody else you can think of? Yes.
Uncle.
Yes, if your uncle is somebody that you feel comfortable talking to, then tell him. So we've got a whole list of people, haven't we? It's mums, dads, uncles, aunts, teachers, police officers. There's always somebody that you can talk to. So, if you're being bullied, whether it's because it makes the bully feel big to do so, whether it's because he wants your pocket money, or whether it's because he's making you do something that you don't want to do, you tell somebody.
I said, where did you get that? He said, I took it off a woman in the street. End of story, sir.
Not if it turns into a complaint.
Well, there's no way he didn't do it.
It's not a matter of whether he did it. It's a matter of how you treated him.
Well, they learn these tricks in the cradle round here, sir. Deny what you've admitted, make out you were pressurised, get a complaint going. If it's not the parents, it's social workers and teachers winding them up to it.
I'm not asking about your social philosophy, Loxton. I'm asking about whether Bill Potter got the treatment he's entitled to.
Yes, he did, sir.
What about doing another session in maybe, oh, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks? Ricky? Hey! Ricky! I just want to talk to you! Oh, come on, Ricky, don't run off! Ricky! I'm sorry. What are you trying to do? You nearly got yourself killed. Has he been picked on by anyone in the class?
I wouldn't really say so. He's quite low down in the pecking order, but then somebody's got to be.
And you're not concerned about that?
Oh, come on. There always is a pecking order wherever you go in life. There's certainly one in this staff room. I bet there's one in your station.
He's okay, just a bit shaken up. I think you should hear what he's been telling me.
Sure. Ricky?
Tell them, Ricky.
There's a big kid. He's in the 5th year. He gets money off me.
What, just you?
Well, he tries to get some off the other kids, but he made me turn up my pockets. And he found out that I had more than the others.
What was this, dinner money, pocket money?
Pocket money. I get more because I ain't got no brothers or sisters.
Have you told anybody about this?
No. If I tell my mum, she'll get upset. She'll come down to school, then everybody will know about it.
Everybody will know what?
Don't know that I've told her. Don't know that I've told them.
Look, Ricky, this boy is years older than you. He's practically a grown man. You can't fight back, and that's why he does it. It's not a question of whether you've got any bottle.
Which kid is it, Ricky?
McNamara. He's got all green stuff on his teeth. I really do hate him. I want to kill him.
Yeah. There are times in this job when I just want out. Yeah, well, zeal don't get its due rewards. I found that out, mate. I mean, what's he after? You nick the kid with the property on him, victim IDs him, and Monroe wants to pick holes in verbal.
This is Chief Superintendent Brownlow and Mortimer, one of the clerks to the justices.
Do take a seat.
And Chris Howard from the Probation Service.
Hello, Chris. Do take a seat. I understand DCRE's filled you in about the Sunhill Street robbery initiative. We're hoping very much that you'll take the message back to your colleagues.
I must admit that I don't think that many of our magistrates have been made fully aware of what you're trying to do here.
Of course, we have had campaigns and crackdowns before. They've had a short-term deterrent effect, but often they've just displaced crime to other areas.
Well, we're not just talking about reactive crime-busting operations. We've got officers in schools working in quite innovative ways to address the reasons why kids get involved in crime.
Which is why we want to talk to influential people like yourselves about sensible ways of dealing with young offenders.
Well, we welcome that. Of course, there are some areas where the police have got to get their own act together.
Yes, how can I help you, love?
Inspector Munro said to come and talk to him. We were in earlier. I say it's Billy Potter and his mum.
Billy Potter and Mrs. Potter, you say?
You can tell him. Tell him I found out what the trouble is.
Thank you for telling me about this. It shows that the school's programme is getting its message across, eh?
Do you mind if I ask you what you intend to do?
Well, I shall have McNamara in, of course, confront him with the accusation, but, frankly, knowing the boy, I doubt whether I'll make much headway.
But you're his headmaster. There must be some action you can take.
What we're looking at is one boy's word against another. I can't act against McNamara without proof, any more than you could.
I believe Ricky Whelan when he says he's been victimised.
I believe him too. McNamara will be warned off him in no uncertain terms, I assure you of that. And Ricky's house tutor and the rest of the staff will make sure that they're kept well apart.
And that's it?
McNamara is not exactly one of our academic prospects. He'll be out of our hands fairly soon.
Yeah, and straight into ours, I shouldn't wonder.
All right, Billy. Take your time. Tell us all about what happened.
There was this kid at my school. He's left now.
Well, what's his name?
Tell him. Jimmy Taylor. I can tell you where he lives at all.
Is that the boy we're talking about, Billy?
Yeah, Jimmy Taylor. Well, when he was at my school, he got after me. You know, for money and fags and stuff. And I used to give them to him. Then he left, but he saw me in the street.
And when was this?
A couple of months ago. He saw me in the street and he says, "You've been slagging me off. You've been talking about my mum." And I told him I never. But he says, "I'm going to get you." So I told him I never done nothing to him. So he says, "All right, I'll give you a chance. You're coming out with me and my mates tonight." So I says, "Yeah. All right."
So then what happened, Billy? Did you go out with them?
Yeah. We went up the graveyard. You know Harbour Street?
The cemetery, yes, I know.
They said, "We're going in here." I didn't want to go, but they said I had to.
There's been some vandalism at the cemetery. Is that the sort of thing you got involved in?
No. We got over the fence, and they took me for all these graves and stuff. You know, it was dark and that. And there was this new grave. Like it had just been dug. It was empty with all the dirt piled up.
Tell him, Billy. Come on, love, just spit it out.
They pushed me into the grave. They said I had to do what they said, or they pushed me in again and put all the dirt on top of me.
And what was it they wanted you to do?
Thieving. First of all, it was sweets and drinks and bike magazines out of the paper shop. Then Jimmy said I had to go robbing off people in the street. This morning was the first time.
You were what they call as Joey, right?
Yeah. He said if I got caught, I'd get off with it because I'm only a kid. But if I told anyone, then they'd take me back in the graveyard. And I'd never come out.
Well done, Billy. You did the right thing telling us, son. And don't worry, we'll deal with Jimmy Taylor.
Nobody wants to see him get away with it. But there's a limit to the action one can take on just one boy's word. You know the problems.
Yes, I do. What time are you on this afternoon, Tina?
2 o'clock. A couple of kids from this morning's class just stopped me in the corridor.
Don't tell me, Danny and Angela.
No, it wasn't them. It was 2 of the quieter ones.
Yeah?
They wanted to tell me about a bit of aggravation they were getting from a 5th year kid, McNamara.
How about that?
Right. I'll suspend McNamara whilst we sort this thing out.
And will you let him know that we're taking an interest? That this isn't just a playground game, that it's a criminal offence?
Seems to me Jimmy Taylor's a lad the street robbery unit should be interested in.
Sure. If he's running one, Joey, he could be running several. He sounds just up our street. Thanks for the work, Gov.
So I can leave him to you?
Yeah, we'll give him a spin tonight, just when the family's glued to the box.
Let's establish some common ground here. Young offenders shouldn't be on remand in adult prisons. And if convicted, they shouldn't be sentenced to institutions which are likely to turn them into adult professional criminals.
Remand to a children's home is an option.
In the cases we're talking about, that only makes sense if there's a secure unit within the home. Otherwise, it's just a license to abscond.
We're getting the same message from government. More secure units should be available, but most local councils haven't done much about it.
Yeah, well, that can't work out. I don't know how it gets to be inspected.
Yeah, well, look, it's all off your plate now, right?
Oh, yeah, terrific.
Look, Billy Potter put his hands up. They ain't bothered with your verbal now.
Yeah, no one's saying sorry neither. They practically called me a liar.
Yeah, well, it's all part of the job, mate. Oh. Were you telling the truth, eh?
Just in time for the game show, Jim.
I'm in the middle of my dinner.
DC Carver and WDC Martella, Sunhill CID.
Yeah?
Mr. Taylor.
That's right.
We would like to talk to your son, Jimmy.
What for?
And we have a warrant to search these premises for evidence concerning several cases of robbery.
Where's Jimmy, Mr. Taylor?
He's in his room.
Is that upstairs?
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
Will you stay here, please, Mr. Taylor? You will be present when we speak to your son and we search the premises.
I don't do I? They're the door.
Hello, Jimmy. Surprise, surprise. Shall we go inside, shall we? That's a nice tracksuit you're wearing. Pretty colour, suits you. Pretty running's not on the agenda anymore. Come on, lad, in you go. Keep walking. There's a good lad. Right, here we are.
I just thought it. Didn't think he was interested.
Well, Jimmy's not in work at the moment, is he?
No.
This is all new, expensive gear. You got any idea how he got it?
Bingo.
Jimmy, have you been stealing?
Mate, you don't know the half of it.